This is something new.
So I've been meaning to make a video that just goes over general outline of Sister Wives from season 1 to season 18. And my son of not so many words said he'd be willing to sit next to me. So we'll see if he says anything. Don't think he's going to care about the show that much, but we'll see how it goes. As the mom of a 20-year-old, anytime your son says he wants to do anything with you, you say yes. So whether he sits in silence or whether he's Gabby, doesn't matter to me, I'm going to enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it too. Let's review Sister Wives. Hi everybody, it's Jenny. Thank you for coming to Senior Perspective. I'm here with a guest today, my first guest on my channel. This is my very handsome son, Zachary, who has volunteered to join me today to talk a little Sister Wives. How about it?
Yeah, I'm curious. I hear you talking with people and like talking to everybody about it, and I'm like, I wanna learn about this. This seems interesting.
It got spurred on from the fact that one night on my Thursday Night Lives, where we read Becoming Sister Wives, join us 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. Chapter by chapter each week we go through it, and one week he said, it was Liz and I were watching you. Liz is his girlfriend, right?
Yep.
Who doesn't live in the same state.
No.
So they were virtually talking with each other and decided to... What made you decide? I don't know. I never asked you that.
I think we were going to YouTube for something else, and I'm subscribed to you, and the live thing comes up. If you look at the channel, it has like a circle saying like this person's live, and I was like, oh, let's look at that. Good use of time.
It was a good use of 2 hours of his time.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, thought you were watching it and riveted. I did tell him to like, and he's already subscribed. I made him. But he's really never watched anything on my... Have you watched anything on my channel?
I ain't even gonna, nah. Okay. All right, here we...
I knew if we made this video that I should go in blind, so this is good. It's conscientious of me.
Right. I made him watch my short, which is less than a minute long.
Perfect length.
on the ring. I think I actually did a whole video on it too, and then I did a short from the video. So there's also a short video that's a little bit longer, where I just decided to go grab a couple episodes and take a look and see, and sure enough, all the way through, including the honeymoon, we can see him with this ring on. So he did watch that and said I did a good job, right?
It was well edited. I have no context, but I thought it was well put together.
See, well edited and well put together. Thank you. After that live that night, he said at some point we should sit down and you should just explain Sister Wives to me. So that's what we're doing here today. This is a show that's been on the air for 14 years.
Okay.
So I am well versed in it. I have watched every episode all the way through.
Okay.
I consider myself a pseudo expert on it.
What would make you an expert?
An expert would be people who spend all their time watching every content creator, whether they believe them or not, or whether they know they make stuff up or not, just to get as much information as possible, and are deep diving in Reddit and following all the characters on all their social media platforms, as well as their kids. And
so this goes deep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah, it's an addiction. I am addicted. Right. It's the first step to recovery.
Is admittance, yeah?
Yeah. But instead of recovering, I'm just created a channel and jumped right into it. This is my book. I know it doesn't say Becoming Sister Wives. It does on the side. And that's because I refuse to give Cody Brown any money. And so I did what's trending now, and that is reduce, reuse, recycle. I got it from somebody else who didn't want it anymore.
Yeah, we don't like Cody Brown.
We don't like Cody Brown.
Boo.
Boo on Cody Brown.
I'll learn who that is shortly.
Well, let's start with Cody Brown.
Oh.
This is a show on TLC about polygamists. All right.
Right. I knew that much.
Yes. In this polygamous family, there is Cody Brown, husband,
Okay.
And the show opens up 14 years ago in season 1, where he has 3 wives, and at that time, 12 children.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So we have wife number 1 had 1 child. She tried to have more. She couldn't have more.
Okay.
Wife number 2 at that point had 6 children. Wife number 3 had 5 children, but she was pregnant
Okay.
with number 6.
Wow.
Yes. And the show kind of showed this happy-go-lucky, goofy, kind of dorky guy. Like, a lot of people like that kind of, like, really silly, goofy. It's not my thing.
Right.
According to the show, it made it look like he was also very much in love with all 3 of his wives, and that his wives were all friends of each other.
Okay.
Okay. And then we see right away, episode 2 of season 1.
That was a short-lived...
Well, they're still there. It's the base. And the kids, I would say at this point, the oldest was probably 15, something around that, 16.
Okay.
And then, of course, the youngest was still in utero. All right, so that's
Right.
the span. So then he is courting, well, I should tell you their names. Wife number 1 is Mary.
Mary.
Wife number 2 is Janelle.
Janelle.
Wife number 3 is Christine.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Mary, Janelle, Christine.
Yes. He was courting a 4th wife.
Right. Okay.
Her name is Robin. It's a little bit significant in that wife 1, 2, and 3 were married. So
Rapid succession.
he had all 3 wives before any of them became pregnant.
Okay.
So he collected the wives first, and then the children came afterwards.
Is this legal?
Technically, no, but also everyone just sort of looks the other way. It's illegal if he were to claim any of them on his taxes or insurance or that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And technically, there are laws against bigamy, but he's not officially marrying a second wife. They have spiritual marriages in the
Okay.
church. So they view each other as married.
Right. Okay.
But there's no legal documents
Okay.
involved in it. That being said, it was against the law in the state of Utah where they were living.
Right. So who is he? Did he ever formally marry any of them?
Wife number 1.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, so he marries the first one, and then the other ones become spiritual wives. So right away, I will say, personally, I liked wife number 2 and wife number 3.
You don't like Mary?
I want, okay, I shouldn't say I didn't like her.
She's your least favorite.
She's not my people. Yeah,
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
she had a different kind of personality. She was more edgy. She was a little bit more abrasive. She was also extremely insecure. It would have grated on me. Because I feel like we go from insecure, help me, comfort me, tell me how great I am, to aggressive, mean at people. And there is a medium in there.
Right.
But I don't enjoy people who have extremes like that. It makes me uncomfortable, so.
Do you think that she actually...
Time to go!
I think that might be the dryer.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that she's, like, insecure because she didn't really want 2 more wives? Is that the theory?
Yeah, I would say so. She was a very shy, kind of insecure, extremely, like, painfully shy child her whole life.
Okay.
To the point that she was part of Christine's church. Now, Christine, wife number 3.
Yeah.
Her grandfather was the head of this whole AUB church.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he was murdered. That's a whole separate story.
Excuse me?
We're not going there, but anyway. So she is blue blood AUB royalty.
Right, okay.
Christine is. Being in that lineage, her father was very important in the church. He may have even been a prophet. I can't remember. He was the head of it anyway. I don't know if he was actually a prophet, but Christine's father had the youth group over all the time at their house. There was kind of one of those open door policies, and it's like Friday nights, come hang out at Christine's house.
Right,
and
right.
Of course, also in that culture, it's important that you stay insulated and
Right.
don't have too many outside influences telling you,
This is weird.
this is weird, there's another way.
Right.
Throughout this time, Mary was actually going to her house, attending these things. But early on, I don't know if it was while they were dating or while they were engaged, I'm not sure, but early on, she met Cody and was kind of intrigued by him because she thought he was cute. And he's extremely charismatic. Extremely charismatic. That kind of goes into that whole goofy attitude too.
Right.
Like there's a balance that he doesn't strike.
Right.
We'll just raise our hands.
Is everybody's eyes closed?
You are. That is just nasty.
What are you doing? I was dancing. I just saw sugar, me dancing. I just got. Anyway.
Christine thought she was meeting Mary for the first time.
Christine thought she was
Meeting Mary for the first time via Cody. Now, Cody's brand new to her church. He just shows up, and then he's got this girlfriend, and Christine didn't realize this girl's been in her church this whole time and been at her house.
Oh.
So that's how painfully shy Mary was.
Oh, I see.
Okay. To kind of give you the...
Okay, I get it.
She didn't speak out. But she always wanted friends.
Okay, got it. I thought you were insinuating she was like in the walls, like she was in the rafters. I was like, how is she not ever seen?
Do you not know the term wallflower? Is that new? Is that an old person's term?
No, I know wallflower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a movie.
I don't know how you got the impression that she was in the rafters.
I don't know. I'm just like, how do you not even like see someone? That's crazy.
Oh, that she was hiding.
That she was under the couch.
Peeking through
Yeah.
the windows.
She was.
Yeah. No, she was there.
Okay.
Christine just. Obviously, there were a lot of people because it couldn't have been 3 or 4. Christine would have known, but nevertheless, she never knew. So anyway, that's kind of the description of Mary. In that regard, I feel sorry for her actually. Right. So she meets Cody. She marries Cody. He's everything she wanted because she was so painfully shy. He was the antithesis of that, and she loved it. They could go to social gatherings, and she could sit quietly and let him just perform, which is what he does. He performs.
Right.
And he loves attention. He loves an audience. So.
Right. Okay. Do they ever take on extra husbands, or is this just a wife thing? Okay, just a wife.
They believe this as their religion, as their faith.
Okay.
In fact, Cody made the comment once that it was vulgar. That's the word he used. That would be vulgar if you were with another man. So, yeah.
If I were to be giving attention to another guy, how would it make you feel?
Obviously, it's just not something I'm comfortable with imagining. The vulgarity of the idea of you with 2 husbands or another lover sickens me.
It's definitely a patriarchy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the head of my household again, and so I'm not going to be circumvented in that. And so if everybody's willing to conform to patriarchy again, I guess.
Janelle, she's not here for it.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd signed up for patriarchy.
We skipped over Janelle. Janelle was wife number 2.
Okay.
Janelle knew Cody and Mary, and she was kind of on the outskirts of this faith because she too was LDS, being raised up, but she fell in love with Mary's brother.
Janelle fell in love with Mary's brother.
Yes.
Okay.
Mary's brother left the AUB faith to marry Janelle, who was LDS.
Okay.
They were both married in the LDS church.
Okay.
Got a house. He left her 6 months later. No details.
Dang.
Took 2 years for the divorce to be final. Don't know why. Couldn't have acquired that much, but somehow they got a house in it. But I'm thinking it was Janelle's family's money because she ended up with the house. But during this time, the brother was getting further and further away from the AUB faith in the family, and Janelle was intrigued by it.
Right.
So she kept hanging out with his family, and the family liked her. Janelle eventually gets divorced. When she officially converted, I don't remember that, to the AUB church, but she did.
Okay.
And then Cody expressed an interest in her. Mary, not so thrilled. I think maybe the brother part of it might have had something to do with it, but I've never heard anybody mention that before.
Really? That never comes up?
It never comes up that could be a possible reason. It's just that Mary just didn't really like her, and she's like kind of the sweetest, nicest lady in the world, you know, one of those really gentle souls kind of people. Very different from Mary, and that could be why they didn't get along too. Very different from each other. Okay, they get married. Oil and water in the house. So Cody decides the best way to solve this problem, because he's so young and immature and unable to mediate the relationship between these 2 women, he brings a 3rd wife, Christine.
Right. This is, it's I'm having marital problems, so I'm going to have a child, which like doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So he brings Christine. Although, surprisingly, it did work.
This is bad
Normally,
takeaway.
I know, it's a bad takeaway. This is not a good example for anybody. Don't go having children to try to fix your marriage. Christine is lively and bubbly. The personality that wasn't there. We have kind of my way. Mary's also very demanding. Things are in the right spot. Don't put the clothes in the dryer. I'll do that. Don't put the dishes like this. They get like very rule oriented. Janelle's sort of fly by the seat of the pants, and she's a people pleaser, so she didn't tell Mary that she was upset with her, and then it would brew up. And then Christine comes in, and she's just sort of like, let's all have fun.
Right.
And so it did kind of smooth things over. Now, as soon as she came, Janelle was pregnant.
Okay.
Another one of the problems. Now, Mary had been married for 3 years and hadn't had a child. And it's important to have lots of children in this faith. I don't know why. She hadn't had a child yet, had been trying for 3 years. Janelle comes, she gets pregnant. And so more friction between them. And then Christine comes, she's sort of a ray of sunshine, and the original one, Mary, kind of clings on to her because Mary always likes to have a friend because she never really had friends in her life, and she always wants to have a friend. So she really liked Christine. Janelle is happy with that because she's just kind of this quiet soul anyway. She's like, get Mary away from me. I don't care what it takes.
Right.
A year later, Christine gets pregnant, and then Mary does too. So it's almost like those two are in the same year together. So and then from there, then more babies just came. So now we have a gap, I should have looked it up, of like 14 years of this family.
Okay.
Living together, raising their kids together.
Okay.
Since the original marriage and all that. They move a lot from here to there and everywhere. And sometimes one wife leaves and it's too much. They had they were in like a mobile home, a 3-bedroom mobile home at first with all these kids. And then, so there were wives that couldn't take it, and they would leave for a period of time and then come back because they really believed in the principle of this. And they also didn't want to separate the kids from each other because they all saw each other as full siblings, even though they knew as they grew up that this, that's your mom and that's your mom. But they all kind of co-parented together. Janelle was the I work full-time or more mom. She also had the highest degree of education and was the smartest and the most employable.
Okay.
And she loved working. So Janelle, that was her solace, her peace time. Christine was all about raising the kids. She was a stay-at-home mom. She cooked, she cleaned, even when there were 12 of them.
Okay.
And she homeschooled.
Of course the kids are homeschooled. Okay.
Yes, they were homeschooled. For a while, and then for a while they went to like an AUB church school.
Oh, okay.
And then eventually they went to public schools.
Oh.
So by the time a good 10 years goes by, they become this well-oiled machine. Mary is kind of working part-time. She's trying to get her degree because she likes working with at-risk kids, but she wanted to become an actual counselor, I don't know if she was an aide or something like that. But she enjoyed the job. She wanted to move up, so she was going to school for that, taking a class at a time. So, and then she was working somewhere. She was working at that place too, but Christine was the only one that was there full-time, but then eventually she got a part-time job too. For some reason, they never had money. I think Cody was blowing through money like you can't even believe it.
Yeah, it sounds like things were going pretty well when it's just like the women supporting each other, and if Cody wasn't involved, it would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, they liked each other enough. They wouldn't have been friends with each other, I don't think, had there not been Cody.
Okay.
But I think they saw themselves in this situation and learned to become superficial friends, not deep friends. I personally think Cody was part of that because I think he would talk to one in the bedroom and say, don't tell anyone else, but, the things you tell me, just stay with me, and I'm going to tell you some things that I know, but I wouldn't do this with any other. I think he tried to make each wife think she was the special one that got information that others didn't. Which kept them from communicating with each other, of course.
Right.
Because, you can't address a problem if you weren't supposed to know that they had that problem with you.
Right, yeah.
And they can't communicate with each other. And that's partly goes back to Christine explaining that like she loves the movie Frozen because conceal, don't reveal, don't let your emotions show. That whole thing is exactly how she was raised ever since she was a child. That's what the faith does. Happy faces, everything's good, and that's how they started the whole show out too. It's season 1. Just everybody, we're a one big happy family. You should want to be a polygamist too.
Yeah, basically. But the takeaway of Frozen is that that's not good.
Right. Well, we learned that over 14 years. We'll get there.
Fair enough.
So now Robin enters the scene. Robin is 10 years younger than Mary, so probably about 7 years younger than Christine. Nails are always done, hair is always done, makeup always done. When we met these sister wives, the 3 of them originally, they were just your average plain Jane, which is what attracted me to the show.
Right.
Because you watch these shows and you can tell they all do full hair and makeup before they start their reality filming, right?
Right.
Not these women. You show up on any given day, it is what it is. And I love that about them. It made them feel real and approachable and interesting. I was just interested by it because never in a million years would I choose this. So I was fascinated, which is what drew me into the show. Right. Who and why and how can this all be?
Yeah.
All right. So Robin comes in. She's very sweet. She's very nice. And basically, we find out that they're in the process of courting already.
Okay.
Now, this could be a whole separate video. I don't know how many videos I have on my channel. 30, 60, 100. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. But I would say at least probably 2/3 of them are on Robin.
Oh.
Well, I would say 2/3 of them are on Robin and Cody, and then the other 3/4 of them are on Robin and Cody.
Okay.
A quarter of them would be like either the whole family or a situation or something like that, because there's a lot of back history. We won't go into all of that.
Okay.
But she comes with 3 kids in tow. She had a marriage before that didn't work out. He divorced her, but she says she left him. Divorce papers say he filed. So, and she implies that he wasn't the best father, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. We do know for a fact that she loves to spend money, and they didn't have a lot of money. He was starting his own construction business. They didn't have a lot of money. She would just spend, and hide credit cards and hide things she bought in the shed in the back. And it was the straw that broke the camel's back into why her first husband divorced her.
Okay.
Because apparently they kept trying to work through this, and it got to the point that he's like, we just can't do this anymore. You already financially ruined me. Like, we can't keep going down this hill. You're not learning anything. We're moving on. So she comes to the family with $30,000 worth of debt from the divorce.
Are they still poor at this point? The family? Okay.
Yes. They had a decent sized house. They had a 3,000 square foot house, bigger than ours.
Yeah.
But they had 3 different apartments in it, if you will. They each had their own kitchen, bathrooms, bedrooms.
Oh.
But they were all connected, so they could walk through one to go to another. The doors connected. It was built to be a polygamous house.
It was built to be a polygamist's house.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of houses built in that area where they live.
So like a construction company, polygamy co. that makes...
Could be. That could be what Robin's ex-husband did.
It's a
But
niche.
there's not a whole lot of polygamists, and that's why they were poor, because there's not that many houses to build. So there's kind of no room for Robin there. So Janelle, who makes the most money and all that, and they do have their own funds, but they pull all the money together and then they divide it out amongst the wives.
Okay.
So Janelle has always been the breadwinner, kind of giving them
what does she do?
the most. It's unclear. And her daughter actually made it seem like, I'm like, was she in the CIA? She worked for some government agency. Let me take it back. She did get a degree in accounting.
Okay.
So her college degree's in accounting. But I think even before that, she had a good government job, is all we know. And then at one point, Christine's daughter, who has a Patreon, mentioned, somebody asked about it, and she's like, we're not allowed to talk about what that position was. It's like a top secret position kind of thing. And then she brushed over it and just said she had a good job.
Was Janelle a drug dealer?
Don't think so. Can't see it. No.
Was she Skylar White?
She'd be the perfect
front for
a CIA operation. Nobody would suspect her. I mean, as a drug lord as well. But I don't think she's very religious. I don't think she would do anything against her faith. I don't know. And that's just me reading between the lines, because she wouldn't share, and she said she couldn't share, and I'm like, why can't you share? What is it? You know, there's no big deal. Anyway, she went on, got her accounting degree, so she's an accountant now.
Right.
The other ones didn't get degrees. I don't think Cody ever even took a college class. Christine got some sort of certificate anyway. I know she was taking education classes.
Okay.
But I don't know if she ever actually got a formal degree. Okay, so Robin comes, and Janelle offers while they're courting, because Robin lives 4 hours away in another city in Utah. Since they were officially courting, she offered to let her take half of her side of the house. I believe Janelle got the largest portion of the house because usually the first wife always gets the most. It's like kind of like queen bee, if you will.
Okay.
But Janelle's finances, I think, were a big part of what gave them the ability to purchase this home.
Right.
Including she owned a house before she was even in their marriage, and I think a relative passed away and there was an inheritance. Like, I think there was money coming from Janelle.
Okay.
And they believed that, you know, and she did too, that she was fine with putting it all in the pot and then it goes out as needed. She didn't have a problem with that.
Okay.
That was, but I think because there was a plethora of abundance coming beyond just her job.
Right.
I think that was sort of like, well, and at the time she was living apart from him. Remember I said sometimes the wives would be like, I can't take this. She was living apart. So I think that was his luring her back.
Right.
I need your money to get this, but, you know, you can get this. So she was all on board because she really did want the family back together, but she's like, I just can't live with Mary anymore. Right. So this gave her an ability to be autonomous in her own apartment in the house. So she offers to Robin to live in half that house. Robin declines the offer. Instead, she has the family put her up into another house that they had to rent for her.
Oh.
She has no job. She has $30,000 worth of debt. And she has 3 kids. So she really offers nothing.
Boo.
Yeah.
We don't like Robin.
No. I didn't like her from day one, quite frankly. There are people who liked her. I didn't see it.
Okay.
I couldn't see it.
That's all, folks.